everybody, and welcome back to the next episode, episode 2, here on Software Inc. So, last episode, we were able to kind of rearrange the way our garage is set up. We're able to put in a reception desk and get our printing company up and running. As you can see here, I made a little bit of a boo boo and took a printing job that was way too much for the amount of printers that we have. So, I tried fitting more printers into this room and I just couldn't get the layout exactly how I needed it to go. I thought if I just pulled them along here that would be fine, but then of course they can't reach the printers in the back, so we could move those onto the new strip, but then it would kind of defeat the purpose of it would just be the same amount of printers with more conveyor belts. So I think we're just going to have to bite the bullet here and buy and just end up losing money on this printing deal, and costing us money. But to fix that, we'll just have to accept some other contract work and other requests, and hopefully we can get that number down to an amount that is a little bit easier to stomach. So, looking at the contract works available, go ahead and accept one that just is going to give us a lot of money. It's a little bit late in the day to start doing that, but it is what it is. And then we'll also call some couriers in just so that way we can get as much of these boxes out as possible to reduce the amount of money that we'll have to pay per box. It's about $2 per box if you can't fulfill a printing order. So that's gonna suck, especially since we are such a small company at this point. But it is what it is. Here, oh, I guess it's in December, not November. Okay, good. I was like, here we go, losing money. Um, yeah, December. So the goal is 65, and we can only print 54. So we're going to be missing out about 10,000, so it's going to cost us about 20,000, but that should be easy enough to fix, especially if we can just like get extra couriers in to get all the boxes out of the garage space. And in the meantime, we will start looking at some other design deals. So those are really nice way to generate money. Basically, for example, this one, it gives us 2 years to design an audio tool or whatever for another company, and then every single month they pay us whatever the amount is. So instead of getting one lump sum of like, you know, 10,000 for the contract work, we're able to go through and just collect 30,000 for the next 2 years. And doesn't really affect your score or your star rating, your prestige for your company, but that's fine. Let's go ahead. I don't think I have any other couriers coming in today. Yeah, my courier just left. So, oh, there you go. He's taking it. Perfect. And then we can see we have 9,000 in storage. And hopefully, yeah, we only get dinged for this, 17,000 that we're short instead of the rest. There we go. 17,824 for 35,648 dollars. But that's like 3 contract works, and now that we accepted this deal, we only really lost out on a little bit of money that month because we should be getting a pretty good amount from the deal that we have. And in the meantime, we are going to accept a smaller printing job that our garage space can actually. So yeah, it's just going to be like that until we can get a bigger space with more printers and we can actually upgrade all of our equipment. It's December 1981, but I think my goal for this playthrough is to get at least $100,000 before we move into a bigger space and start hiring more people. Right now we have staff members like our cleaning crew, our receptionists, and our couriers who are just going to be working for us. But for the most part, I don't really want to take on any employees yet because I don't really want to start any big projects of developing our own software or hardware or any of that kind of stuff. So yeah, this has until May of 1982, so we'll definitely be able to get that done. Let's go ahead and queue up another contract work for mommy when she gets back for the day. There she goes. And then yeah, if you just up the priority, then they're going to work on the contract work over the deal work, which is really nice, so that way you can get extra money every month as well. So we'll go ahead and promote that and finish it. And that was outstanding quality, fantastic. We are going to go ahead and educate her and get her all the way maxed out on System 2D and audio for her design work, which will allow us to take more um, deals and contracts in the future. If you take on too many print jobs, you can always do this, which is decrease the priority of one and then increase it back up again once the print job is done. That one, there was just a little bit of an overlap, but we'll definitely be able to get it done now that that other print job is out of the queue. And now it's April of 1982. We skipped ahead a little bit, just kind of grinding away. We are at 340,000. We failed to print the last batch work on that one again. I think the most it's nice to have a print station set up in the garage because you're able to make some pretty decent money kind of casually, passively. You don't really do anything, you just hire the courier for it. But then you have things like this happen where you get charged $55,000 for not printing correctly, and then burglars come and rob your garage. It's fine. That didn't cost too much, right? Right? Um, but that's just kind of the fun of this game. I do turn off the disasters later on in the series, but for now at the beginning it just kind of adds to the kind of troublesome nature of things. um, but yeah, you can just passively work on your deals in the background, queue up print jobs, and then also do contract work, and that's a really quick way to earn money. Because right now we'll look at the finances for this company a little bit later, and you'll be able to see that it really is a good way to make a lot of money. I think the downfall, and every time I've played in the gameplay or the series failed, was because we went into debt, obviously, because there were too many employees hired right off the bat. I think 100,000 is a good starting place for you to move into a nicer building and start hiring employees and start doing your own software and that kind of stuff. But everybody has their own style and method of playing the game. So here we're just going to get it so that way it's a little bit even. So both of these print jobs are due in May, which makes it a little bit difficult because we couldn't print all of them. So I just decided to go with the larger amount one. So that way we only owed money for one failed print job instead of the other. And so we'll pick this one up. It's only 74,000. We'll be able to knock that out in a couple months. And we'll go ahead and queue up a contract for her to complete when she gets back. And she just blows through them. Her design is so high. I mean, even her programming is pretty quick. So we'll go ahead and promote that and finish it. And we'll accept another contract and just kind of skip ahead to the fun and the better part of this game. The beginning is very risky. It's always risky to start a new business, but that's how I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. It's always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to the beginning of the gameplay, because that's usually when everything falls apart. Oops, I accidentally went way too long on the development of that, but we'll just go ahead and promote it and get it out later this month and accept some extra contract work as well. Perfect. And up the priority on it. If you like management games, this game is great. It definitely, I recorded 4 hours of gameplay in this one sitting. It's a very addictive game to play, that's for sure. I really like it. And especially, I didn't play it before they added the hardware, but I think the hardware is an interesting new thing that they added to the game where you can print copies of jobs as well as like manufacture your own game systems and phones and all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. It's really neat, guys. But we are getting closer and closer every single month, just slowly creeping towards that $100,000 mark. 648, not too shabby. Um, we will be able to upgrade our computers as well as our printers in 1990, so we have about 7 years of that, or yeah, we have about 7 years to go before we're able to complete it. And then the other thing you have to worry about when you actually hire employees, you have to get a break room and stuff. And with the current layout of our garage, we don't really have the space for another employee. Honestly, our CEO or our main character is just kind of tucked in that corner back there. It's kind of, I have no idea how I would make this so that way other employees could fit in there because they would not enjoy working in the printing area. It's very loud and they'd complain about it. So it's been 2 years. Our design contract, our design deal was up. So for that, you don't even have to hit develop. You can either just let it go away or you can hit develop. And that just means that that deal is no longer in effect, which means we can accept another deal, which I already did for the Startown Adventure games. If you look here, we're doing pretty good financially, about 60, 50,000 a month, which isn't too bad. Well, I guess about 30, and I guess last month we did a little bit better. But another good idea is to put your extra money into bonds. So I do want to deposit about 500,000, and this is kind of like your savings account. Plus, you also get interest for it. I believe it's like a 1% interest rate or something like that. Which obviously, the longer you play the game, the more each of those will help. But the only bad side and kind of risky part of it is that if you pull out too much money from your bonds because you're about to go bankrupt, it does cost you money to pull that money out. But here we can see that we're making about 820 some odd dollars every month in interest, which is pretty nice. It is. Does she need to be educated? Let's see. No, I mean, she's pretty much maxed out on her design and her programming and her leadership, and then she has one more in art that she needs to do. But let's go ahead and extend her business hours so that way she works until 5 p.m. So with your employees, they only work 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. But with your CEO, you can kind of extend those hours a little bit so that way, because she doesn't tire, get stressed out, or anything like that. She's like the god NPC. she just doesn't stop. She doesn't quit. But as you can see, we're back up to 965. It's June of 1985. So we are really close to hitting that $100,000 mark to move into our new space and hire some employees. There we go. We just rolled over to 100 or 1 million. That's what I meant, not 100,000. Jeez. We just rolled over to $1 million. So that's a pretty good time for us to move things around. I feel very financially secure as a player to get that all settled and taken care of. And then we'll just queue up some extra contract work to finish out her day. She might even be able to finish this beforehand, and then we'll be all set. So develop that. She can finish that contract work tomorrow. And that was burglars. Okay. Let's go ahead and replace the furniture. That was about $50,000 that we just lost. It's fine. Well, that pretty much sums up why I wanted to wait till we reached that higher price point before moving, because if we had employees and we were really tight on a budget, then that would have we would have lost. We'd have to start over. But I am very excited. Here you can see we're back up to 1 million. No problem. No big deal. Next episode, we are going to be moving into a larger space, a little custom designed space. That way we can get a bigger printing area as well as get some employees, which will be really nice. And until then, then, have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.